What's going on, guys? Dayton here, aka Dr. Autoflower, back to you guys with another video, another question and answer, and get into some other things. If any of my videos have ever helped you, make sure you smash that like button, it really helps. Leave a comment down below, leave a question if you want to have a question featured in these videos. And also, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, it's free. So a little update on the whole Thailand thing. Like I've said in the past, some other videos, I've talked about the possibility of us moving to Thailand. They did just legalize in June. So right now it's some of the most liberal laws out there, and that is pretty nice. So we definitely been talking about moving there. We got our passports now. We had to go all the way to Calgary to go get our passports done. That was a bit of a trek, but we made a vlog out of it, and I'll be posting that soon. But yeah, it's kind of up in the air. The laws could change. We have no idea. Things can change very fast out there, so we're not like 100% on anything. But it sounds like a really fun adventure, and I think we get a lot of awesome content there. The whole weed culture there is really growing fast, and it seems to be rivaling Amsterdam already. So looks like it could be a very interesting thing to cover for the next while. So let me know what you guys think if you guys are interested in seeing videos, documentaries of stuff over there. I'll still be doing my grow series, my question and answer videos, stuff like that, but I really want to expand and do some kind of more like documentary style stuff, get into some more like interesting culture. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. So right now here, everything's kind of on hold for me. I'm not growing anything. It is nice to save a lot of money during the winter, because the bills during the winter do get pretty high sometimes, especially if you're running multiple tents, and yeah, it adds up. So it is nice not having massive bills, but I didn't want to have anything growing for the last while, because in case we wanted to take off right away, it would just be a big hassle, and what would we do with all the weed? But with that out of the way, let's get right into the question and answers. Jason asks, one question I was hoping to get answered was, if my autos are grown under 12 and 12 and deep into flower, will it hurt them to switch it back to 18 and 6? So as long as they're good stable genetics, this should not hurt them at all, I wouldn't think. In fact, they'll actually like it more, and they'll probably do better if you do. So I would say you're totally fine. As long as they're like stable genetics. If it's unstable genetics, you could run into issues where it maybe stresses the plant a little bit. Maybe it could cause herming, but I don't think there should be much problem. Dan asks, what's the most important factor for autos aside from genetics? Lights, temperature, humidity, medium, feeding schedules? I don't think there is one like major like factor, like this is the most important thing. Maybe you could say a light, but really it's all a balancing act. You want to balance between everything. You want to be in the optimum range of all those things. There's no one thing that's like, this is the ultimate thing that you have to. I would say maybe the light maybe edges out the others just a little bit, but I think between like lights there could be very drastic differences. Like just a regular 100-watt light bulb you would have normally in a room, technically you could say that's a light, and compare that to a fancy high-powered top-of-the-line LED. There is going to be massive differences. So I would say light kind of is more important, just by a tiny little amount though, because like everything else, there's so many factors into growing. That's why I never really say this is the way everyone should grow. I don't ever say that, because everyone's growing situation is different, and you should always grow to what suits your situation the best. Master Yoda asks, for autoflower growers, how do you know when first day or first week of flower is? What are the telltale signs? So pretty much the pistils. The pistils will come out, and that's the first sign that your plant's into flower. And this is very easy to tell, because it is the only white hairs you would see on a plant coming out of in between the branches and the little calyxes. So for me, first day is when you start seeing those white hairs. That's your first day. History for the better asks, why do my autos make seeds? Your autos made seeds most likely because they hermied. Not sure if it was the genetics, or maybe possibly had a male in. If you left a male, then it would have pollinated the girls there and they would have made seeds. If you got completely fully loaded, the whole plant's just all seeds, then you definitely had a male in there. If it's just a couple seeds, sometimes I notice that too. I talked about this I think in the last video, where sometimes I think they have like a hermy inside the bud and maybe it doesn't pollinate outside the bud where it spreads it all around. Maybe the hermy is just kind of stuck inside the bud and just creates one seed. I've noticed that sometimes where I found like one seed in the whole plant. So that kind of tells me that there would have to be some kind of breeding somewhere, or maybe somehow a little bit of pollen blew in. Who knows? Maybe there's someone growing in your in your area and a little bit blew in. Hard to really say though. Kids420 Grow asks, when it comes to 24-hour light, what's your opinion on light schedule? I personally feel that plants get more strength and growth when they have light schedules when the light goes off. I personally believe that too. I've grown 24 hours, a couple grows, and I just felt like it was stressing the plants a little bit. That's what it kind of looked like for me. There was just a little bit more stress in them and they weren't as like vigorous. And again, this is kind of a situational thing too, because sometimes you may need to grow 24 hours of light on. For example, I've known people growing autos in their garage and during wintertime, and turning their lights off would drastically change the temperature. So some people just leave their lights on 24/7. Sure, it stresses them out a little bit, but you're still growing and getting the job done. Now, if you're growing in a good grow room where you can control everything, you really wouldn't want to be doing that because it stresses them out a bit. So you'd want to give them at least 4 hours of darkness. But in the past few years, I've switched to 6 hours darkness. It just saves on the electric bill, and it seems to be not much of a difference I've found between 18 and 20 hours. So if it saves you 2 hours of electricity, it adds up. Sizeman asks, how much and what nutrients do you use for autoflowers, and do you prefer liquid or powder fertilizer? So I made a video on this. I'll probably link it in the video description and maybe the comment section. So in the last few years, I switched to Advanced Nutrients SensiBloom A and B only. I do not use anything else. I don't use the veg. I only use the flower nutrients, and I use it throughout the whole grow. And it's all in the guide video, so definitely check that out if you're interested. It has helped a lot of people, and lots of people have gave me awesome reviews on it, so it definitely works. If you need to search for it, just search Dr. Autoflower feeding schedule and it should pop up. Simon asks, what are the little rectangle cards sitting on my pots in past videos? Those are fly sticky traps for when I have soil gnats. During the time when I have fungus gnats, I always set those out if I get infestation. Lately, the last few grows, I haven't had any issues with those, so I didn't need them. But sometimes they come back, sometimes they infest, or sometimes they're already in the soil. Steve asks, do you flip autos? No, you do not flip autos. Autos flip themselves. Autos on their own time schedule. They're not going by what light. Even if you gave them a few hours of light a day, they're still gonna like be on their own schedule. It doesn't matter. They are gonna live for as long as they want to live. They're gonna try to reproduce and then they're gonna die. So that's just how their life cycle works. You do not flip them. They flip themselves. You keep the light schedule the same the whole grow. UK Flower asks, so you not aerate your water? No, I don't aerate I used to aerate my water, but I stopped. It just became a hassle to have like a giant tub full and then aerate in it. I didn't see that huge of a difference, and I kind of got tired of dealing with giant tubs of water in my place, so I just stopped doing that and moved on. Chris asks, can you use the 3-part pH Perfect for the whole grow? And he's referring to Advanced Nutrients. Yes, you could. You could use the 3-part pH Perfect for the whole grow for autoflowers. It is meant for just regular plants, but I'm sure you could do fine with it. Personally, I like to use it for veg in my regular plant grows. It is the cheaper option, so I use that during veg. It is the cheaper option of the 3 tiers. But I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you all for the questions. If you have questions for the next one, put it down in the comment section below. And make sure you smash that like button. Until next time, guys, peace out and catch you guys later.